Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your evil black bunny speaking. I'm glad that I have so many of you who enjoy hearing my voice, though I do wish I could be counted as one of you. Now, today I've decided to read a couple of bite-sized creepypastas. I had a few requests for these little guys, and I just decided, well, they'd be a lot more fun to do in one go. One neat little video for your enjoyment. Now, please sit back, shut off the lights, close your eyes, and ignore the hands at your ankles. They just want to play. Coffins used to be built with holes in them, attached to 6 feet of copper tubing and a bell. The tubing would allow air for victims buried under the mistaken impression that they were dead. In a certain small town, Harold, the local gravedigger, upon hearing a bell one night, went to go see if it was just children pretending to be spirits. Sometimes it was also the wind, but this time it wasn't either. A voice from down below begged and pleaded to be unburied. "Are you Sarah O'Bannon?" Harold asked.
Yes?
The muffled voice asserted. "You were born on September 17th, 1827?
Yes.
The gravestone here says you died on February 20th, 1857.
No, I'm alive. It was a mistake. Dig me up. Set me free.
Sorry about this, ma'am," Harold said, stepping on the bell to silence it and plugging up the copper tube with dirt. "But this is August. Whatever you are down there, you sure as hell ain't alive no more, and you ain't coming up." A poltergeist. Old houses and their noises, what a nuisance. Every day, every night, all you need is a moment of silence, and then, BAM! A door slams upstairs. You run to see what it was, but all the doors are wide open, like you left them. At night you have the footsteps, calmly going from one side to the other, crossing the house. Maybe someone is having trouble sleeping, but you live alone. Sunday mornings are as bad as night. Everyone's sleeping, the neighborhood quiet, birds chirping, and something dragging itself across the living room. But if you try to peek at it, you'll never see what it was. Sometimes you turn on the TV just to have noise. Like you could ward off the noises. But how can you ignore the sound of a glass breaking in the kitchen, or the shower turning on in the bathroom? That deep, cold breathing sound a few inches away from your ear, even under the blanket. Sometimes it's even worse. I can hear someone typing in my computer in the office, just a few steps away from the bedroom. And in the morning, I know I will find something written there. Right to left, left to right, in caps as if someone was angry, saying again and again, "Stop making noise in my house, my noise making, stop making noise in my house, my noise, stop making, stop noise, make up, stop house!" Silence. It is golden, but not only for me, I guess. Lights in the distance. A young man suffering from insomnia was trying to fall asleep one night. After many minutes, he was still awake as it got more and more late. He turned on his side and looked out the window. Noticing 2 street lights in the distance, he rested his eyes on them and soon fell asleep. The next night, he found himself, once again, kept awake by his sleep disorder. Remembering the remedy he tried the night before, he turned on his side and looked out the window for the 2 street lights. He found them and, once again, fell asleep peacefully. The next night his sleeping troubles were back, but he simply looked out the window for the street lights and rested his eyes on them. Tonight they were flickering every few seconds. He assumed that the bulbs would soon burn out, and as his eyes began to fall shut, the He woke up in the morning, feeling refreshed. As he got up, he looked out the window towards the streetlights, hoping someone would come to fix them. However, as he looked, he noticed something odd. There weren't streetlights there. He leaned closer to the window to double check, but still, the streetlights were nowhere to be found. Then he looked down and noticed a small hole mark on the windowsill, as if something was perching there. His insomnia got worse. Hide and seek.
Do you remember when we used to play hide and seek? I had so much fun knowing that I had a friend to play with every night. I remember the nights that you would lay there under the blankets in your room, shaking with anticipation, because you knew I was there. But you couldn't see me, and thought I couldn't see you. Since you were just a young one, I'd let you in every night, of course. The fun was just in playing with you. You're older now, and we haven't played in quite a while, so I was thinking we should start again. I'm bored with hide and seek, though. Since you're older, I don't have to let you win now, either. So, the game is tag. I'm it.
Hey, you.
Hey, you. This is kind of difficult to explain, but I'm you. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Bullshit! Well, anyway, I know because I am thinking the same exact thing. Because I'm you. You see me every day. Well, you see you every day when you look in the mirror. There I am. Well, there you are. I am your mirror self. I am from the mirror realm. I understand everything you're going through, everything you feel, all your joy and all of your pain. I want to tell you something. Something important. Don't be scared of me. I'm only here to help. You see, when no one else is around, you have me. I'm there for you always, waiting in the mirror realm. When you look at me, you see yourself, and I give you confidence. Or, if you're feeling ashamed, I give you sympathy. What you might not know is that sometimes, when all is quiet and you're all alone, I crawl out of the mirror and I watch you. Sometimes when you lie alone sleeping, I'll lie down beside you until just before you wake. And then I'll crawl back into the mirror realm again. And that strange feeling you have that someone is watching you sometimes, like right now, for instance, that's me. Oh, you don't believe me? Okay, well then tonight when you see me, see you, standing in the mirror, look me deep in the eye. Concentrate, but don't look away. Give me time. It takes a considerable amount of spirit energy, but if you stare long enough, I'll wink back at you to let you know I'm real. Oops, I mean that you're real. See you tonight. Eating out. If you're the type who eats out regularly, one day a stranger might join you at the table. This stranger will always appear to be of your age and sex, and he, if it is he, will only appear if you are alone. No matter what style of restaurant it is, he will always be carrying his own plate of food. After a few seconds, he will look directly at you and say, "You seem like an interesting person. May I know you better?" Say yes, and he will begin to ask you questions about yourself in between bites. These questions will be innocuous enough at first, what your name is, what you do for a living, and so forth. But should you open your mouth to answer, you will be forced to tell the truth, even if you do not consciously know what the truth is. These questions will be innocuous enough at first, what your name is, what you do for a living, and so forth. But should you open your mouth to answer, you will be forced to tell the truth, even if you do not consciously know what the truth is. remain silent, and the stranger will scowl at you, pick up his plate, and leave. You will never see him again. If you do indulge his questions, however, they will grow darker and darker as the food leaves his plate, and it will become harder and harder to resist answering. Do not attempt to leave the table before he does under any circumstances. When his plate is clean, he will stand up to leave, but not before asking you one last irresistible question. What would drive you to take your own life? You will instantly be aware that you will be able to lie in response to this one question, and I suggest you do, for whatever you describe will come to pass within the week. Those who are canny may use this chat to gain whatever they desire. But know that if the happenstance you named does not drive you to suicide, the stranger will start guessing as to what will. And consider how much he now knows about you. Well, my loyal listeners, I think that's enough for one night. If you have any pastas that you would like me to read, feel free to drop me a line. I'm always willing to please. Have a good night, and remember, they only want to play.